I am Jack, 28 years old, working as a restaurant manager for the past 2 years. I had been living with my wife, Emmy, 26 years old. We had been married for 2 years after dating for about 5 years, so I can say that we've been together for almost 7 years. We made it through all of our colleges together, also lived together for 7 years while building our life. We even moved across the country together to enjoy the world and start something new to strengthen our relationship. We met each other on the first day of our college. As I entered my class for the first time on our joining day, I saw her standing there in the middle of our class and introducing herself to some girls. She was telling that she had moved from some distant locality and now was residing with her uncle. As I entered the class, she greeted me and shook my hand. I was a little shy to see such a beautiful girl talking to me politely. I immediately controlled my emotions and also greeted her in return. I also introduced myself to the fellow standing among us. So our story together started from that day onwards. We would go to a movie after college or would sit in a park in the evenings and enjoy our time together. I would never want anything except her because she was the love of my life. I would sit in agony and silence if I would not meet or see her. She also felt the same for me. She told me how much she loved me and would gladly spend her life with me. Bullshit story? But who would realize at that time? Time went by with its fullest charm and we graduated. After graduation, I started working at the same job as an intern and she was in no mood for a job. Our dating continued without any problem. As I started to earn a handsome amount of money, I bought a small apartment. We both moved in together and started a life. We decorated it with all our favorite things. Let me say that we filled it with memories, love, peace, and laughter. However, my happiness took a sudden turn and it seemed that it was not meant to last forever. She got a job offer in another state and had to move away. I did not stop her because of her future and passion. I was devastated and could not imagine living without her. But we both promised that she would come back to me and we would be together again. My life continued, but holding on to the hope that one day she would return to me. She continued to work and made a life for herself, but my heart could not rest even for one day without her. She would send me her pictures with her colleagues, hoping it would make us feel closer to each other. Finally, after 6 months, she returned. She told me that she had left her job. We were reunited again and it felt as if no time had passed. We picked up where we left and our love was stronger than ever. Time passed and now we had been dating for over 3 years. All things were going great. We both were very happy in our relationship. But one day we had a small disagreement that turned into a big fight. It all started when I told her that I had to go out with my friends for dinner, but she wanted me to stay in and watch a movie with her. I did not see the harm in going out because I was going out with my friends after 2 months, but she felt neglected. So we argued back and forth, each one not willing to compromise. Our argument escalated and soon we both were saying things we did not have to. At last, we both were hurt and frustrated, but neither of us wanted to back down. We ended up when she packed her stuff and went to her uncle's place. I went to bed being angry, so we did not talk for a few days. After 2 days, I regretted the way I reacted and wished I had handled the situation differently. I missed her and wanted to make up, but did not know how to start the conversation. Finally, I decided to take the initiative and apologize. I went over to her place and told her how sorry I was for the way I had acted. I explained that I had never wanted to make her feel that way again. She was also regretting her actions, and we were able to talk things through. We hugged and made up, and from that day, we made sure to communicate better and would always find a way to compromise when we had small disagreements. Everybody knows that fights and disagreements are a part of any relationship, but what's important is how we handle that situation and move forward. Now we were stronger and more in love than ever before. As now we had been together for many years, so we had finally decided to tie the knot. We were both very excited to start planning our wedding and creating the perfect day to celebrate our love for each other. At first, we set a date for wedding. We decided on a beautiful summer day in August, with the ceremony taking place in a picturesque garden and the reception in a grand hall. We found the perfect place, a stunning estate with lush gardens. We knew it was the perfect place to say our vows and celebrate with our friends and family. As the big day approached, our hearts were filled with excitement and nerves. Finally, the day of the wedding arrived. The ceremony was beautiful while exchanging heartfelt vows and becoming husband and wife. We danced on that night with our friends and family and shared many laughs and happy memories. It was a perfect day, and we knew that we would cherish it forever. We were so grateful to have each other, and we looked forward to many happy years together. After marriage, we both continued with our routines, as I had to get busy with my job. She stayed at home as a housewife. One day, our relationship turned upside down. A misunderstanding between us caused a rift in our relationship. It all started when I came home from work on one evening. I was upset about having a bad day at work. I just took my dinner and went to the living room to watch TV while she cleaned up the kitchen. I could see her feeling that something was off, but I was not in a mood to talk to anyone. "Are you okay?" she asked. "You seemed upset when you came home." Looking at her curious expressions, I had to forget my problems. "I don't know what you're talking about. I had a great day at work and the dinner was delicious," I replied. Then she hugged me and we shared some private moments. One day I decided to invite my colleagues because they were asking for dinner to celebrate my marriage. I asked my wife about this and she happily agreed. On a weekend, 5 of my colleagues came to our home. We all sat over the table and there was joy and laughter till midnight. Then all of them went to their homes. After they were gone, I thanked my wife for making such delicious food. She also was very happy that night. She asked about one of my colleagues. I was a bit confused by the way she inquired. "Why are you asking?" I asked curiously. "Nothing serious. All of them were quite sophisticated," she replied. In my heart, I was still surprised, yet somehow I managed to not put her into any doubt. The reason because this one time I saw one of my friends asking her for a washroom, but they went towards the kitchen and go out smiling. I ignored it at that time, but now I only had feared. As time passed, I had been feeling doubtful about her. I could not shake the feeling that she was hiding something from me. It all started with small things. She would quickly shut her phone screen whenever I walked into the room, or she would become evasive when I asked about her day. I tried much to brush it off, telling myself that I was being paranoid, but the doubts only grew stronger with each passing day. One day I decided to confront her about my suspicions. "Is there something you're not telling me?" I asked her. She looked taken aback. "Of course not. What could I possibly be hiding from you?" But I could see the flicker of guilt in her eyes, and I knew that she was lying to me. Now I was determined to get to the bottom of it, so I had to check her mobile phone and emails. Because with every passing day, I could not resist the feeling of being cheated on by my wife. Another thing I noticed was that whenever I would call her from work, she would be at the market or some mall or elsewhere most of the times, but not at home, so I decided to follow her. One day when I left home for work, I did not go to work. I just waited in my car at some distance. After sitting for 2 hours, my wife came out while dressed in an appealing dressing. She instantly booked an Uber and went towards city. I followed her to a hotel and saw her going into a room with a man. This was the man she asked for when my colleagues visited our home for dinner. At that moment, I felt my heart break the way no one could feel. I realized that my worst fear had come true. I thought that I had to confront her but could not ask. I was devastated. I felt betrayed, hurt, and angry. Now there was nothing left in our relationship to feel for because I did not know how to heal these wounds that I had been inflicted. I remained silent for some days and she did not notice anything. I wanted to catch her red-handed, so I waited. One day while I was working at my office, I received a video. I instantly opened the message. What I saw was unbearable for me. I saw my wife having an intimate moment with her AP, and this video was filmed in my bedroom. I instantly saved the video. The next moment, the video was removed by her, but now I got what I wanted. She did not know that I had saved the video. When I reached home in the evening, I asked, "What you sent me?" but immediately deleted it. She said that she mistakenly sent a random video and then ignored looking at my face. Quickly, she went to the bedroom to sleep. I controlled myself to say anything because this wasn't the right moment. I had to wait till a perfect time to take my revenge. I just reacted normally with my wife during those days of absolute agony. We also had some private moments, but I did not make her feel anything suspicious. One day when I came home from the office early, I heard someone talking in the lounge. I heard my wife talking with her AP. They were making plans together. They were planning to get a place together. Both were cuddling each other. Her AP was scared of these secret meets-up and running around hiding. Her wife also knew that something was going on but was still in the dark. Feeling the anger as a human, I was compelled to say something. Rather, I refrained and got out of my home. I instantly opened her Instagram account and sent her intimate video to all of our common friends. There was nothing better to be done at that time. After sending the video, I went to the riverside and sat there till 2 a.m. During all this time, my wife called me many times, but I did not receive her call. I wanted her to feel the pain that I felt while living under the same roof as her. The next morning, she was fighting over sharing her video on Instagram. She told me that our friends were calling her cheater and whore. She could not bear such words in her life, but I told her that this was her mistake. She must feel what I felt through these days and nights. She had cheated me for nothing. I was torn between my love for her and my anger towards her for betraying me. I did not know what to do and felt lost. But the days passed. Now it was her turn to get away with this.